Project 95. Still rolling. Even when there's no shows, there's shows to be made. Welcome to this very special edition. I am Ryan Vaughn. I hope you know that part, since I made about 200 videos so far already. And across from me and next to me, however, to me, is one of my oldest, dearest friends and jam boys, Dr. Brian Romans. What's the geology doctor tag? Is it just PhD?
Yeah, it's just called a PhD. That's pretty.
There's no
pretty standard.
GD.
No.
F.
Just straight up PhD.
Say we got the same.
Yeah, Dr. Ryan Vaughn, if you all didn't know, is also a professor.
So this little interview discussion, whatever you want to call it, was Roman's idea. So he had some questions. He's been as dedicated to Project 95 as me, and I can't tell him how thankful I am for that, as it's probably him and McCabe. I think that's about the two. Actually, my younger brother's all in. He's been texting me and talking back and forth, and then Andrew, my old student, he got in late, but he's left me 3 10-minute voice messages.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so those I'll have to get to those at some point. So Romans and I have been going to shows together since my first show, which was 1993, August 7th, the day before my birthday, when I don't think either of us had really any idea what Phish was. We just kind of went because a bunch of our friends were going.
Yeah, also my first show. I mean, we had been listening to Junta, right? I think
yes.
I think that's about it, right? And
yes, yeah.
But I definitely didn't have any idea what I was getting into.
No.
And now with hindsight, August 93, of course, is sort of a heralded time.
Yes,
that we had
fertile period.
We had no idea, right? So
no,
but we did know, holy cow, we should do that again. That was pretty awesome.
This is something different, interesting, fun, almost exotic, at the time. And yeah, I look at that set. I tell people all the time, I didn't deserve to be at that show. It was so good. It just wasted on me. I'm like, hey, this is a Prince song. They played Purple Rain. I'm like, no, they played Prince. High five. That was me, basically.
Yeah. Same. Just
so,
kind of overwhelmed and confused, but also just thoroughly entertained and just jaw-dropping, kind of all of it. And it was amazing.
Intrigued to say the least. Romans and I went to middle school. We've been together since middle school. So our paths have gone every which way but loose. And Phish has always been a place for us to reconvene and catch up. And sort of, that's what the Jam Boys were sort of born on.
Yeah, I mean, I can just quickly summarize, I guess, my fandom, really most in terms of going to shows, mostly in the 93 to 98.
Yeah.
And then I moved but not nearly as many as Vaughn, obviously, as we'll hear about,
right.
As you've heard about. Yeah. But then I moved to Colorado in 98, and I just recently looked, and I lived in Colorado from 98 to 03, and they only played Colorado 2 or 3 times that whole 5 years.
I was going to say.
So I was that's why I didn't go to a lot, because I went right in fall 98 when I moved there, and then I think they played Colorado one other time. And so
Yeah.
I lost kind of connection with them
Right.
in the latest 90s into 2.0. And then during the breakup, like many people, I kind of lost connection.
You moved on.
And then, in the 2009 to into the teens, I was an occasional listener. Honestly, I didn't really do much with Phish. Like, it's kind of a blind area for me, like 2009 to 2015 or something. And then I started listening in the later 20 teens and getting back into it. Like, I remember you recommending Baker's Dozen.
Yeah.
Then I found out Vaughn and his buddies, other jam boys, were going to SPAC 2019, and I texted Vaughn and said, what if I come? What if I come for just one show? Like tomorrow. He's like,
from Virginia.
He's like, yes.
From from Virginia. Of course.
That rekindled for me kind of a whole thing. Then COVID happened, but then we had our proto Jam Boys text thread during dinner and a movie.
Yeah.
And then, I think then it sort of. So I was kind of early, lots of shows, and now later some shows. But listening to them through the whole time, off and on.
Right. The Beacon jams and dinner and a movie were huge for, I think, everybody, because I think we're all various stages of your story where it's like you have these gaps. Even I was still going to shows, but not as many, like maybe one a year in like the 10 to 15 range. It's all blur. Like, I can give you like set list from all those shows in the 90s, but like there's a section in the 2010s to like 2015, 16, and just blurred together. And I'm like, I don't even know what they played when I was there.
Yeah.
But this currently, I think everybody's just sort of reinvigorated. Inspired largely by the fact that they're 60. The guys are 60 years old and they're still, I mean, they're arguably getting better.
It's pretty crazy.
Insane.
Like, dipping, I don't know, my listening, at least in the last 4 or 5 years, would be when they're on tour, be listening to the tour, right? Checking out what they played last night. And then between tours, I dip back into the archive, listen to a 93 show or then a 97 show or whatever. But now listening to all of these in a row, there's no room for any other. There's barely any room for any other music, much less more Phish in my life right now.
Dude.
And so it's this concentrated, like, look back rather than, I feel like 99 or I feel like 93 or I feel like Baker's Dozen or whatever it is, right? So now it's, I don't want to say forced, but like this project is kind of regimented, but in the best way, like listening to this one, not even era, but tour, like as it goes. And it's been quite interesting to listen like that. I haven't really done that.
And for you, it's there probably is like a research element to it. Like you're approaching it as you would approach like a research project rather than just like you said, just like casual listening. Like you're approaching it from a totally different, not better or worse, but
that's probably
different
true.
Perspective.
I hadn't thought about that way, but I'm trying not to miss anything and try not to get too behind. It is a project. That's like the word, right? It's a project.
Well, I said about a week in, I'm like, whose idea was this? And I'm like, because I'm like, fuck, I got to do a video every day for like 3 months.
And then some extra videos of side quests and whatnot.
It's ridiculous. Well, that's on me. I probably didn't have to do that, but I just felt like, and I'm like, whose idea was this? It was your idea. You
Yeah.
floated it like a year ago. You're like, hey, the 30-year anniversary of Fall '95 is coming up. Why don't we all listen to the show on its each individual anniversary, and
Yeah.
then Vaughn could maybe do something.
Yeah, it's just 54 shows in 80 days or whatever it is. Like, it's no big deal.
I've found a happy medium. Like the first couple weeks, I was like, I had no time to do anything, and I was trying to sandwich this in and not half-ass it. Then I got to a point where like no one would care if I missed a day, but I'm like, I would.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to be like, wow, he did it every day.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you're devoted to the project. I will say, I think you mentioned this in some of your videos, but for those listening, watching, like, Vaughn did very much try to convince us,
I did.
me included, back then to do this with him.
Yeah.
And
pretty much I had definitely Fisher, definitely you guys at Tyler, definitely Riley, definitely Pete Dever, McKay, like all these guys. I'm like, had to sit down and was like, come on, let's do it.
I can't speak for the rest, but I can speak for myself that I was like, well, you can imagine. So it was like 22, 21, I guess, when the idea came, maybe 20. Like, I can't leave college. Like, I can't do that, you know.
Right.
For better or for worse. I don't, like, regret not doing it. But
of course,
who knows what my life would, but so I don't want to be like, oh, like, looking back, I should have, like, whatever. Like, it went the way it did, but it is important to note that you were like, you should come. And you weren't being nice. You weren't being like a jerk about it. Like, oh, you're a loser if you don't come. Like, you were like, come on this adventure. Like, and I recall like thinking like, oh, it just felt like totally out of the realm of a decision I could make.
And
as a 22-year-old.
Big. Yeah, it was a drop everything thing. And I remember I always make fun, like, everybody within the next couple years after that decided they wanted to go cross country, like over the summer or whatever. I'm like, why now? Like, we were doing this like 6 months ago. Like, where were you then?
Yeah.
Whatever. It would have been as great as it was, but as great as it was, it would have been awesome to have somebody next to me the whole time. But to your point, it might have been different for me.
Yeah.
If someone else was there.
Yeah, I definitely have a line of questioning for you, maybe to close this off, kind of about that.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, I wanted to also talk a bit about the tour in terms of the music. Like, again, getting back to this listening of not every day, but almost every day.
Right.
And it's impossible when you, I guess, do this kind of project to not compare to certainly now, or even any other era, because that's kind of what they're about, right? They have this repertoire that has grown, but all these still songs, but then these distinct eras and transitional times. Right. And, you know, like Fall '94 has always been a favorite of mine. And kind of that in this tour, they're certainly not the same, but I feel like they go together a little bit.
They're kind of conflated, yeah.
Because then, of course, you know, late 96 into 97 evolves and turns into something different. And then, of course, comparing to like now, today, like the current era, which is really... So I've been listening to, obviously, a lot of the current era in the last couple of years, because it's just been so good. And again, like I said, diving back once in a while here and there, but now like really a concentrated listening. it's been really interesting. Like, I guess just for everyone to know, like, I guess I call myself a former wannabe drummer. Like, I was barely a drummer then, and now I'm.
Hey, I have photo proof that you were a
Yeah.
drummer.
But John Fishman is just like ridiculous. But
Yeah.
Vaughn and I talk about it all the time. I mean, they all are, but I don't know, something about John Fishman.
He's
like,
the guy.
I agree with Trey.
For me.
He's the best. Like,
Right.
but so his,
Right.
I guess his playing, just to compare like now, the last few tours to then.
Yeah.
I guess something I noticed was just this 95 tour, like the backbeat is so strong.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if like he was literally hitting the drum harder back then. Cause or if it's the mix, right? Is the snare like mic'd? Because now if you listen now, or if you watch him especially, there's like all these ghost notes with his left hand.
Sure.
Like super creative and inventive, and I love it. But it feels like this 95 is like really just solid. So it's, I don't know, it's not necessarily tempo or not, it's not that he's not tight now, but it's just like this very, there's not a ton of the ghost notes and stuff he does now with his left hand in these songs. Not like completely, but generally. I don't know. I don't know if you've heard that kind of difference or thought about that.
Yeah, you brought up, so Paul was still doing the soundboard in 95. That was that old crew with Pete and Kuroda and Paul just had, that was one of the things that all of us would talk about, was just like, it sounds so good.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I think there might be a difference, maybe not a difference, but some nuances in how it's mixed, how it's mic'd, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think about Phish. There's some interview, maybe multiple interviews, where he talks about he always played with Trey, not Mike. Like, you think of a rhythm section, it's bass and drums.
Yeah.
And like I think up until like, or through 95, he would lock in on Trey. So you hear them in sync a lot, and maybe that has something to do with,
yeah, maybe,
like the way it sounds different, because now he's way more almost like layering, like putting down a foundation for the other three guys to play on.
Yeah, and it's so textured or something now, right? Like, it's very like this, he's just like this 8-armed thing, and like especially in jams now, like he's kind of all over the kit, like these just, I don't know, these polyrhythms. And this 95, there's some of that for sure, but a lot of it's I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's not, I don't want to say it's like very straight, because it's also
more in a pocket or something.
Yeah, something just it's just interesting, like to listen, which again, this concentrated listening kind of like has drilled it into me more than just dipping back for an occasional show here and there.
And
I love it.
I
mean, it's great. It's,
yeah.
Of
course, there's a reason we always flocked to his side of the stage. These are the times I wish I knew more about music to be able to articulate such things.
Well, I
better,
mean, they're like just so well rehearsed at this stage.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned that in a couple of the videos, like, and people have talked about this forever, but 92 into 93, they kind of really, really got it. And then like 94, 95, it's like they can pull off anything. And I totally agree with your comment, when Trey told the interviewer in Bittersweet Motel that people just come for vibes and they don't care if we hit the changes. And like, I'm with you. Like, I come for both or all of it. you know, like
That was
because
such a big thing for me that they could, because they could do it.
Yeah, that was kind of what was unique, I guess, at least
Right.
for a lot of fans like I was, like there were many that maybe found them through Grateful Dead or other improvisational rock context, that they were like just this orchestrated, super tight, like almost like athletes, right? Like, and the impressiveness,
100%.
The impressiveness of athletes, like you said, executing it, pulling it off, and
right.
that was a thrill to see and listen to.
Yeah, it's like in you and Baudo's dorm room, like listening to Junta. Oh, you can't dance to it.
Yeah,
but it's not like they're just playing nonsense. They're playing this exact same thing every time, and it's a fugue backwards or some ridiculous sort of acrobatic musical move.
Yet at the same
just
time,
like, that's impressive. Yeah.
Yet at the same time, there was, I don't know, like a musicalness to it or a vibe to it that it didn't feel like other prog rock that felt kind of dry.
Yeah.
And mechanical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yes.
it had a groove and I don't know, a soul or whatever you want to say, like with it as well. But they're a unique combo of thing.
I think what you're looking for is, it wasn't pretentious. Like prog rock, I feel like is like kind of douchey. Like, ooh, watch us, watch all these different movements and suites that we put into this song. Like, I'm just thinking about like Yes or something,
right?
Like where it's like almost douchey.
Yeah,
like it doesn't have that. It's way more playful,
right,
than douchey.
Yeah, because I guess that's right. Like their personality that they always espoused of like taking what they do seriously, but not themselves seriously.
Yeah, right.
And it's hard to come off douchey if you're like genuinely doing that, right? Where the other really accomplished musicians doing complicated things, maybe have an air of like taking themselves too seriously kind of thing. Like being
words to live by too, by the way.
Totally. I mean,
take what you do seriously, not yourself seriously.
I totally agree. Like, I think that's kind of been a thing for me. Like, because it does make you
100%.
Does make you, maybe you don't achieve it every moment, right? But you kind of gives you a sense of how to be. So, and the silliness and the earnestness of them, like combined with, when you hear Trey now in interviews talking about like, they just like, let's practice this stuff just for hours and hours. He's like,
right.
I don't know, was that documentary? He was like, oh, we were up in that room just for hours. Like, and just like kind of crazy that they all found each other.
Yeah.
Like, and he wrote all this stuff, and Paige was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll learn all that craziness. Yeah.
Yeah, and Holdsworth's like, peace. I'm
out. I'm out.
That's where I draw the line.
Fair enough. And then, of course, like, they jam in 95. Of course they do.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to also bring up that I noticed is, there's like the song part and the jam part, which like people focus on a lot, I think, in the recent era, right? Yeah. Even to the point of like, get through the song, let's get to the jam. Right? Yeah. But here, like in the song, there's opportunities for improv and creativity, like 8-bar solos, right? Like more like a jazz number or something, right? Like I was listening to Yamar and Trey. Yeah. That was an 8 or 16 bar, I don't remember, but like defined solo, not a jam. Yeah. And it's just incredible. Like, and Paige, I think I mentioned there was just like a 8-bar little piano thing inside Lizards between two verses. Right. And I kind of forgot in a sense about those moments in Phish compared to this breakdown of just song and big jam.
Yeah.
That there's improv and creativity happening, in these different places in the song.
Yeah.
And there might not be a big jam, and that is all good. It's all fine, right?
Yeah, I think I used... Phish is either a good show or a crazy show. Right? They're all good. Some may not be as good as others, but they're all good.
Mm-hmm.
And people have moved on from a good show. It's got to be crazy for us to love it and talk. Like this prioritization of, it was a crazy show. The third night at SPAC, right?
Yeah.
That's the one everybody's talking about. Meanwhile, the first two nights were like unbelievable.
Yeah.
But no one's going to talk about those because all anybody wants now, and this wasn't not the case in '95.
Right.
All anybody wants now is the 25-minute tweezer or whatever, some sort of something crazy to happen, which is all the shows are crazy.
Yeah.
When you think about it, but
huge length,
something over the top. Yeah.
But yeah, back then we didn't really. We liked the big exploratory things when they happened, but it wasn't like the focal point.
Maybe this is part of it too. The exploratory nature was different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned this a bunch of times this past month, but anything that really gets out there is too dissonant for me. Looking back, like they're way more melodic now.
Yeah.
Especially in jamming scenarios, and like I lived with it in '95 because that was the sound du jour, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is, and I don't remember ever talking about Type 2 anything back then. I think this is when Type 2 was kind of born. Was in 94, 95 when they started really stretching things out. Because if you even go back to 93 and 92, like all the big songs like Reba, Hood, YM, Bowie, Fluffhead, like they're all pretty tight. They never really stretch out that long.
Yeah.
So 94, 95, they really started to do some of the longer jams, and I think they were like didn't know where they were going half the time. So you got that dissonance and almost, I always called it noise. When it got to be noise to me, I was like, all right, where's the next move here?
Yeah, I guess their go-to, I guess especially tweezer, right? You can point to a bunch.
Yeah.
Their go-to would be kind of in that clashing kind of tones and yeah.
The tweezer from a live one is a perfect microcosm.
And
of
then
that.
some rhythmic exploration, like other jams Fishman will keep the rhythm, right?
Right.
For a lot of them. But yeah, when they started to, I guess, get into this Type 2 that it's called, then the rhythm would also start to explore as well. And now they'll do that like 6 times in one
right.
one jam, right? Like, and they'll transition from one to another.
They've refined it into it rarely gets to the noise anymore.
Unless they really want it to. Like
unless that's like right. We've talked about that like the past couple years. Like there's I think all the practice, all the improvisation exercises, the filling your own hay hole, like whatever they've been doing, it has worked. We're seeing it now.
Yeah.
Like they're so in sync that when in the past you would think, okay, where's this going? You never think that because it's there as soon as they want it to be there.
Yeah, they're listening to the other 3 players' skills are kind of ridiculous, but it took decades to get there, right?
Yeah.
But I guess speaking
Literally.
of split open and melt, like the ones in this in 95, fall 95, they do get kind of out there and dissonant, but most of them, like Fishman's keeping the rhythm close.
Yeah.
Like he'll kind of veer off where you can't quite count it. You're not hearing the turnaround, you know, dun dun dun, but it's kind of there. You can kind of feel it. Whereas some of the split up and melts now completely dissolve into noise for sure. Like on purpose. And Trey has a shit-eating grin on his face. Like it's like this is what I want right now.
Right.
But here it feels like they're kind of like it could be kind of brought back at any moment.
Yeah. I used to try to count the 8/9 time through the jam and see if I could get it coming out and be on time. That used to be my little split game. But yeah, I know what you're saying. And I forgot to mention this. Like, this is the tension and release period too. So like, I think their intent was different than it is now. Yeah. Just their objectives were different.
That's a good point.
Than what they are now.
Like you mentioned it on at least one episode, the antelopes of this tour are just I don't know, like there's different metaphors you can come up with, but I like the one of like you're like careening down a mountain, like a dirt gravel mountain road, like in a bus, and they're driving the bus, like looking back at you, like smiling, right? Yeah. And you're like going around a turn and like tipped, and you're like looking down like 1,000 feet, but they're in control, like, but it's almost not,
just barely,
almost not in control. And